Wake up, sleeper. We're in trouble. Lane's closing in, and we need this next contract to go right. But nothing's gone right so far. That contract Carson gave us was trouble from the start. Junie? I didn't trust her. Not for a moment. That derelict was a death trap. Suddenly, it was all over. But we've got to bounce back. We've secured the contract. So let's talk, crew. How about Nia? She was handy with that drone. Stopped the whole thing blowing up in our faces. Or Eugene. He's a loudmouth, but he's tough as hell. Although he did forget to tell us about Vesna. Or we find someone new, but new crew have new problems. The belt is wide, sleeper. So whatever comes at us next, just remember, nothing in the belt ever runs smooth.
Mike is there. Hello. Got there early. Hello. Happy Thursday. Welcome to Citizen Sleeper 2. Available now on the Xbox Store for the price of $24.99. We know Horror needs more sleep in his life. Hello, Horror, Shih Tzu, Sub, Pub Wars. Let's check out Citizen Sleeper 2. And yes, I did play the first one. Citizen Sleeper 2 has 30 achievements for the 1000 gamer score. And they're mostly secrets. Let's not ask that question. Let's look. Citizen Sleeper. No, I did not. Either did you. Ha ha ha. Why haven't you finished it? You finished a run of it. Let's see. You're missing 4 achievements. Yeah, that's what I figured. Let's go save. Operator, extractor, machinist. I like operator. Drones remote. That sounds good. Stay frosty, my friends. A moment before walking dark space, before conscious thought, you struggle to find the piece of yourself. Usually, these pieces come with a particular cadence, each appearing sequentially like the boot process of an old terminal. First, your body, artificial, compromised, but relaying sense data all the same. Then its context, the breeze of air filtration, the soft contact of your birth in 0G. Earth in 0G seems like it'd be weird. Then emotion. Well, being in 0G would be weird. Coming into focus, coming into your body, bringing with it that first instinct, the one that has framed your past 100 cycles. Fear. But the familiar sequences does not arrive instead. You are unmoored in space. Your body distance, your context silent, even your emotions somehow obscured and scattered. Among all that disarray, only one familiar thing arrives: the fear. It is scrambled, panicked fear, the drowning fear, the falling fear, the fear that makes you reach desperately for any stable point. It is the fear that tells you something is wrong. Something is very wrong with you. It's going. It's warm, 71 degrees. How's it in your neck of the woods? Wake up, sleeper, the voice whispered in your ear, in an act that makes you suddenly aware of your head, pulsing in pain. Your body, rigid with tension. Sleeper, a familiar name. A mind copied, emulated, a body built, implanted. One person sleeping until the other debt is worked away. Their double being made to work, be consumed, eventually to be destroyed. A proxy, an emulation, a sleeper. That's what you are. 103. Ouch. But you escaped. Remember that now broken free, your corporate creators, SNARP, in search of a future. You cannot remember the details of your escape, but you know the fear has been with you ever since. All of a sudden, you remember you have eyes, and your eyes flicker open. Pale eyes in a pale face. Liane, the name comes with its own specific sensation of fear, one you recoil from instinctively. Sorry to interrupt, a sharp smirk, but this ends here. You search your mind for more than a name. This is how you reward me for my generosity? Lane is learning over her horizontal floating body, looking down into your eyes. Look you in. I protect you. I took you. Look you in. I took you in. I protect you. Gave you a purpose. You try to look away, to the corners of your vision, to find something you understand. Your body does not respond, but I suppose that wasn't enough. He reaches into his pocket of his jacket and retrieves a small vial. This wasn't enough? The vial glitters. Vial glitters. This object you know and have known for a long time. Stabilizer. The drug that keeps your artificial body, your emulated mind, from inevitable decay. The only balm for your planned obsolescence. The liquid is rolling, and the vial fills you with disgust. Lane pockets the vial, but would be wasted on you now. After what have you done of your body of yours? He looks at you with a palpable disgust. Where's my window? Why isn't spell check working? Lane's eyes scan your body, and as they do, you become aware of the wires and tubes attached to you. Those that were meant to free you from your dependence from the stabilizer and the control grants Lane. They are free. You are a piece of shit. They don't need you anymore. The voice comes from somewhere behind Lane's head. It's a voice you know, but when you search your mind to try understanding why, you only find dizzying darkness. This is the way. Shut him up. Lane barks the command, and you hear the sounds of impact. Pain from elsewhere in the room. You try to move your limbs again. This time you feel a flicker, the twitch of a finger. You feel the extension and compression of synthetic muscle. Free you are, Lane smirks. You were free when I disabled your tracker, when I gave you the stabilizer you needed. He scans your body with angry eyes. Now, you aren't free, you're just broken. Rude. I had such big plans for you, Sleeper. I invested in you. Lane grips your arm hard, and you feel a jolt of reaction. You will the arm to move, but you have ruined all that. Lane speaks louder, over the sound of the struggle behind him. I will try to preserve your body, of course. I have my own uses for it. But your emulation? You feel one of his hands searching behind your head. He finds and grips the thick cable running into the port at the base of your skull. I will burn that out. Ouch. Lane jerks forward, slamming across your body, then spinning away out of sight. You feel yourself rolling, the cables plugged into your looping and wrapping around your limbs. That doesn't sound good. Then you feel hands steadying you. Pulling cables, you glance around wildly and see someone diligently unplugging you. You meet his eyes. Hey, he waves a hand in your dazed face. You need to move. Lane won't be out long. He unloops the cable from around your wrist. Sleeper, help me out here. He blinks slowly. Do you know this person? He leans over you, and you feel his hands on the connector. Flicking switches, releasing locks. Come on, come on, come on. He tugs the connector clear and pulls you up. You see the room you're in for the first time, filled with tech and terminals, wires waving everywhere. All lit by big windows looking out at an impossibly bright, screen-filled street beyond. In the corner, you see a dark shape of a floating body surrounded by a glittering constellation of crimson valuables. That blood? Move! You're wrestled and shoved towards the door, which slides open in front of you, and then you are out in the brightness, all that movement, gliding hard towards some unknown destination. Is it the final destination? You come to a stop in a dark alley. The one who guided you here pausing to catch his breath. Hello, Vovin. He doubles over beside the massive life support unit that sends a lukewarm breeze across your skin. You stare at him, trying to recall anything about him. You notice his tattered jacket, his lightweight clothes. You remember the station runs hot. Something about the power that flows through the place. He looks up and meets your eyes. New games, always new games. Move. What's going on, Sleeper? He wipes the sweat from his forehead, and it floats away in the swarm of spheres. Talk to me. Who are you? You see a concerned frown cross his face. Don't mess with me, Sleeper. That's not funny. He comes closer, eyeing you carefully. What station are we on? He narrows his eyes, waits for the answer. Close your eyes, trying to recall. You force your way through the dark to the image of a station. No, a city growing on the back of a vast set of hexagonal solar cells. Shadowed by them, you open your eyes. Dark side. A word leaves your mouth like an exhale, an instinct. Before you heard yourself sound it out, you don't know how it was there. Wow. I just approved this. Why is it asking again? Approve. Well, I don't care about that. No way. Wants to use my face to sign in. He sighs. And me, who am I? You see something like a fear in his eyes. Panic, perhaps. You stare hard in his face. A slight upturn of his mouth. The intensity of his stare. Nothing comes. He closes his eyes and drops his head, putting a hand to his temple. Okay, I know why this app's not built for landscape. The reboot. He is speaking quietly to himself. Lane interrupts the process, and he lifts his head and stares at you. We need to keep going. We need to leave. He turns, and he kicks off down the alley. Come on. The rig can't be far. Hey. Trying to play now. As you are led through the passages and serviceways of the station, you try to recall your life here. The texture, the temperature of Darkside feels familiar, but you struggle to pin specific memories to it. Focusing hard, you recall waking up in these passages, cycle after cycle, the rhythms of the station flowing over you along with the crowds. You recall desperation and the slow decay of your body that causes it. Then, Lane, those pale eyes, offering you a glittering vial stabilizer, promise of supplying more for your work. A deal he locked you into like a cage. There, your memory fails you. But in the dark beyond that moment, the residue of panic here remains. I got enough points. Okay. You were Lane's prisoner. Lane's plaything. You shudder in the cold passage. Wait. Your guide holds up a hand, and you stop your glide using the wall. Ahead, you see the tunnel opens up into a wide open bay, with a few doors leading to cylindrical tunnels. Docks. You're watching the rig. He nods towards the docks. And you see one of the doors has a couple of figures flanking it, one covered in ordnate tattoos. the other with bright silver implants along with their cheekbones. Boostable Lane's guys. He looks at you and shakes his head in frustration. All this, it's not coming back to you, is it? Something catches your eye, and you see he's playing with a coin. Nervously, hello, Mr. Polis. Nervously turning it over and over in his fingers, he sees you looking and slips it away. He places his hand on his chest. I'm Seraphin, alright? He looks pained when he speaks. Pain? He was our captor? Both of us? We did this so we could escape? We needed to reboot you. To break your dependence on the stabilizer. He pauses. You know what that is, right? You nod meekly. But Lane interrupted me back there. The reboot didn't complete, and he sighs and shakes his head. We can still make this work. He looks back at the docks. I'll lead them away. You get the docking bridge open. We make it to the rig. I know how to get us in. Got that? He searches your face. I've got it. Get that door open. He pats you on the shoulder. I know you know you can do this. Seraphin kicks off hard and glides into the docks. Over here, shitheads, he bellows to the guards as he barrels through. He immediately push off from the wall, giving chase. You napped earlier, nice. During scenes, you may encounter skill checks where you can perform a certain action using your skills, like dice actions. Right, we're gonna hack the door. Sorry, I'm just adjusting my glasses. You could push the button. You shift the control panel, your fingers dancing across the keys. Without thinking, you access the maintenance layer and trigger a fire. Safety venting procedure. The panel drones out a klaxon and the door pops open with a hiss. Go, go, go! Everyone flies past you, through the doorway, into the docking tunnel. You turn to see the two guards approaching fast across the docks and quickly guide after Seraphin. Seraphin is already at the rig's door, inputting an entry code. The rig's door scissors open, and you both rush inside. Quickly, Seraphin grabs you by the arm and drags you up the cockpit. The ship's layout hazy in your mind. He dumps you in a flight seat and straps himself into his own. You see him tap a series of buttons. He does, talking to himself. Come on. Mr. CP Rich, eh? The rig's drive rumbles into life, and Sephron slams a button on the console. You feel the force of the ship's acceleration as it pulls away. As your ship glides into place, the connecting bridge is automatic. Its automatic systems nudged.
Oh, what an idiot!
Wow, just wow. As the ship glides into place on the connecting bridge, its automatic systems nudged there by the port's docking protocols, you feel a sense of relief. Seraphim burned hard out of Darkside, and you dropped in and out of consciousness in your seat as the brig made its way across the belt. But now, with open space between you and Lane, you feel fresher, more awake. It needs more A's. Hello, Jesse. Yes, it's a good game. Darkest Dungeon 2 is really good. I'll be playing more of it. Coming soon. Seraphim breaks the silence. We're good, Sleeper. His eyes don't leave the monitor. I have it installed still. If it's installed on this console, it's meant to be played. It's there. So is this. This might be tomorrow. Eyes don't leave the monitor, and you realize this part of your escape is routine for him. You and he must have docked this ship countless times in your work for Lane. The problem is, you don't remember any of them. We made it, he whispers, closing his eyes and letting out a sigh. It is difficult. He certainly did. He turns to you and sees a pained look on his face. He turns and you see a pained look on his face, as if remembering something difficult. Have you said this exact same thing to him before, in the same situation? Are you okay? He looks at you, chewing one side of his lip, searching your face. Not really, he puffs. I huff, and I puff, and I'll blow your house down. Seraphim reaches up, flicking through a set of switches in practiced fashion. No parry and no dodge. Completing the shutdown, you watch, a little frustrated with your own uselessness. Running the rig, you realize just another thing you've forgotten. A clunk of that runs through the walls of the ship. It's followed by a short, only an idiot would stand there. Permadeath. Conclusive alarm tone from the pilot's console. Docking complete. Their friend kicks off from his seat. This guy kicks off a lot, twisting as he glides past you towards the back of the cockpit. His hands find the rails on either side. New Egg just went live. The door. He pauses, facing into the corridor beyond. He turns back to you. Backlit in cold cayenne. Reverse psychology, it works sometimes. We need a plan. He glances around. Lane's not going to let us slip away quietly. We keep running. It's funny when they lose their sanity. Seraphim nods. That's what it feels like, right? That we can never get far enough away from that shithead. You see a shiver run through him and know that he suffered as much as you did under Lane. We have bought ourselves some time. He glances through the cockpit window at blinking lights of the station. You may not remember Hexport, but I do. And there are plenty of opportunities here for us. If we could keep our heads down, he turns back to the corridor. That's what we'll do. He pushes off and glides towards the main lock, and you follow, pulling yourself along, hand over hand, in 0G. Don't we all? We already emptied the tank on this thing. He slaps his hand against the ship's insides. We need to refuel, and that won't be cheap. But if you and I know one thing, Sleeper, it's how to work. I'm gonna get myself reacquainted. See if I can turn up any old connections. People that might throw us an easy contract. He glances back over his shoulder. You keep out of trouble. I'm going to. You are the biggest expert now. Seraphin stops at the airlock. Not with me, you aren't, he sighs. You bring a lot of attention to us, Sleeper. People don't forget your face. Stopping the reboot halfway through, he pulls a worn crew jacket from the locker and starts pulling it on. We don't know what that did to you. He jams an arm into the sleeve. I don't want you passing out in. He stops. I'll be fine. Hello, Cezanne. Severin drops his head, swearing to himself. He grabs another crew jacket, thrusts it at you.
SMS received.
I don't think so. I have not played it. Not even in my game collection. Because it's a 60-hour game. Downloaded on Windows? ID at Xbox, and I didn't get a code for it. At least it doesn't look like I did. Copy and post. Order says don't do it. Thank you. Seraphin nods. He stabs at the button to open the lock. The inner door hisses open. Let's see, Raw Fury. I have blueprints. I did Star Trucker. The inner door hisses open, and Seraphin glides through. Wait for a little bit, then leave. Anyone looking for us will be looking for two people traveling together. He looks at you in your worn crew jacket. A limited disguise for what is clearly a sleeper. I mean, if it's completable in 20 minutes, that would be a good reason. Let's check email for my PC. No, it doesn't look like I got it. Interesting. Yeah, I don't get every game. I don't have tariffs. Hello, Jack. We meet back here later. Any trouble? Same thing. Meet here. He surveys our skies again and shakes his head. This is a shitty idea. Florida goal. My list of games is different. He gives you one last look. Maybe find yourself something to eat. Suddenly, you recognize Seraphine's instinct to look after you. A flash of a relationship now, lost to the reboot. I didn't get that game. I don't get every game. Leaving soon. Slayer's X. I do need to buy RoboCop. Catch. Might dive it. Seraphin throws a handful of something towards you. You manage to grab the projectiles, and when you open your hand, you see a stack of Pyro chips. Those should get you some food. We need some more for fuel and supplies. He grimaces. That means odd jobs on the station for both of us. I understand your dislike for their setup. Seraphin kicks off and glides down. He kicks off a lot. He glides down the docking bridge. Don't go too far, he shouts as he leaves. Take it slow. And with that, he's gone, leaving the connecting bridge and heading into Hexport's docking concourse. You wait for a moment in silence. Make a plan. You try to think ahead of what might be coming. You'll need work. That's the first step. But what then? Lane will be coming eventually. The sooner you can put some distance between you and Hexport, the better. So that's the plan. Rest, resupply, run. The 3 R's. You shake the thoughts from your head and pull the jacket tight. And let's see what Hexport has to offer. Kick off and glide into the port. Welcome to Citizen Sleeper 2. This game runs in cycles, during which you can perform actions with your dice, use Cryo to buy food, fuel supplies, and items. Progress clocks towards new scenes and events. I haven't seen the list on Xbox. What's it called? Retro Classics. Retro Classics. The TA ratio is extremely high. Tournament hero, ranked 50th or higher in a completed tournament. It says 0% have completed it. Play any game. That's an easy one to dive. Unlock the original Xbox collectible. Unlock the 360 collectible. Win a medal in any supporting challenge. Well, I'm looking at TA. As Pitfall, you spent your youth playing that. All right. Not letting me go to. I want to go to the other one. I guess that's where I am. In Citizen Sleeper 2, you perform accessing by assigning action dice to them. Let's do this one. We'll go. Oh, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do the other one. New location discovered. You just progressed a clock. Clocks track your progress. Buy fuel. How much? I have $18. The rig is your ship. Bunks use dice to reduce stress. Applies to regain energy. Chat to crew. Explore the docks. We'll chat with them some more. Neutral outcome. Hexport expert. New location. Ooh, the bar. Evan Cairo. We're gonna try to gamble. Alright, we got some money. No, I didn't want to go to the bar. We'll chat with the crew some more. You have used all your dice for this cycle. You need to end the cycle at your ship, the rig, to re-roll them. End the cycle. Oh, they're killing them. We're in trouble, Sleeper. Zephyrin leans into the bunkers as you are getting up. Without further explanation, he disappears down the corridor towards the rear of the ship. You drift out into the passage, pulling your clothes, and glide down the length of the rig, the cool air making you shiver. Seraphin is a silhouette, silently leading the way. He stops at the far end, diverting through a side door, shooting you a glance as he does. You find Seraphin inside, holding one of a tangle of an arm-thick tube. You are waving it in 0G. In the 0G engine room. You know what these are? Fuel pipes. Close enough. These are the engine's fuel lines. He waves one in the air, and before you ask, no, they aren't supposed to be wiggling around. What happened? These must have broken loose when we pushed the ship hard on our way out of Darkside. You're almost asleep? This isn't supposed to be a sleeping stream. I'm not Casey. He looks at the mess. We are lucky. The reserve tank is empty. Otherwise, he shakes his head, it would have been bad. That's a clue what I'm doing Monday. That's the short of it. Wax the engine housing again, harder this time. Just not been our run of luck. He turns and starts gathering the tangled feed lines. Ugh. His frustration evident to the violence of his movements. We will need a new set of these, that's for sure. He starts forcing them into a crate. So how about you try to track them down? I'll take a look at things here. See if I can figure out another fix for the reserve tank. He glances up from his work. From what I've heard on Hexport, Factory Row is the place to find ship fitters. Maybe you can do some recon while I sort this place out. It's on the other end of the station. Okay, I'll take a look. Saffron keeps working. Wait, Saffron pauses, seemingly unsure. There's something else. He drops the feed lines, and they float, waving in the air like a tubular seaweed. I've heard word that Lane's on the hunt. He frowns. A message went out everywhere in the local radius of Darkside. He's looking for us. And we can't leave. Exactly. Which is why we need these feed lines. Those feed lines. I'm going to try to work something out. Maybe I can improvise a solution. I don't know. He looks down. I'm no ship fitter. But while I do, you go hunting. See what you can turn up, okay? He smiled, a weak smile. Get going. Sir, yes, sir. You leave the engine room. The clanking sound of Saffron's cleanup efforts echoing through the ship. Fuel feed lines. That's the next step. You take a deep breath and head out. You've discovered a drive. Drives help you track and choose your objective in Sleeper 2. Let's do a... Oof, I got a bunch of ones. What does a 1 do? Trusted supplier. You spend as much time listening as you do talking, and seem to make some headway into negotiating a contract. You joust a little around scrap container contracts, and the factory owners respond well to the haggling, eager to meet your challenges. You have a little trust with the factories. Now the trick is not to waste it. Factory Row howls as you glide through its cramped passages. Whatever its many bays and rooms once were, they now serve as containers for industry of every kind. Whirling factories, precisely engineer components with rapidly. That's what manufactories is weird. Engineer components with rapidly shifting arms, while scrappers hammer increasingly at the bent ship place. Everywhere you look, there is energy and activity. For a good reason. Export itself is built on the derelict fragments of solar reflector, and even the small amount of energy generated by its remaining mirrors is enough to power a city of machines. It's familiar to you, of course, in a strange, far-off way, because of Darkside. That place and your memories of it are a muddy haze, but it is hard to forget the glint of its hexagonal reflectors, 10 or 20 times more in number than Hexport's, and that wild, flickering city growing on their back like a tumor. In comparison, Hexport feels provincial, but deep in Factory Row, you could almost be back in Darkside. And then you see them, tubes just like those Sephron had waved in your face, that fed the feed lines. You push over the display window of the unit marked Berenstein Supply, and the blocked capitals cut from the hull plate. There, amongst an angled shelf of oversized ship components, sit the feed lines, like some large biomechanical tangle of snakes. You slip inside, where the sound of Factory Row is a little screened, and spot a large figure working at a bench, hunched over, concentrating. It seems he doesn't notice you. Hello? A sharp eye blinks as the figure looks over his shoulders. Can I help you? His accent is heavy, but unknown to you. Those feed lines, how much? There's a ship clink as Berenstein places his tools. There's a sharp clink as Berenstein places tools on the component against a magnetic plate on the wall. He turns with surprising grace. He begins cleaning his hands on a cloth. Those sharp eyes scan you, but Berenstein's thick-set features do not betray the results of his assessment. 23 goals in the first. Custom built those for a client that never collected. He looks at his hands while you speak, checking for stray oil stains. You have one old MEVs then? One of the old MEVs then? He sounds out the letters in a way that you don't recognize as he speaks. You try to recall anything you know about your ship, but the memories elude you. Perhaps Seraphrin should have come along. I think so. Berenstein squints a little. Right. Look, Berenstein drips over where you are standing. The imposing height evident. For a fellow enthusiast like you, he continues in a distinct monotone, let's say a few hundred cryo on clean sheets. Hits. He shoots a glance at the feed lines. 400, let's say, to be precise. 400? 400, Karstein says back, repeating your question without the emphasis. It's expensive, I know. It's a shame, but it's just what they are worth. He screws up his mouth a little into something that might be a smile. However, I'm more of the bartering type myself. Barter sounds good. There's a favor I need a crew for, and well, you look like you might be a good fit. He tucks the cloth away in his pocket and claps his hands. I know of an old Solheim wreck out there, very old, pre-collapse. It's tucked away in a dead zone, so no one has ever really cut it. He shrugs. Not only that, Solheim derelicts have a habit of triggering nasty security protocols when approached by unfamiliar ship, so it's been left well alone. But a salvager like you, with an old Solheim rig, I bet it wouldn't even flinch if it saw you coming. I have a special interest, a need for that old tech. All those Solheim ships had a data core, and while I don't care about the accounting reports or material ledgers, whatever they kept in the damn thing, I do care about the hardware. So, if I was to find you back here with that data core in your cargo hold, clean cut and complete, well then I could see my way to doing a straight barter for those feed lines. Karstein pauses, sniffs at the air again. You just need coordinates. Let's do it. All right then. He holds a heavy hand for you to shake. And as you automatically reach out, he grabs your forearm instead. Karstein pulls you closer, squeezing your arm. Let's keep this one between us, all right? He half smiles, his face huge and close. It's our deal. Something sus. Before you can respond, he thumbs a little drive into your palm. Those coordinates. And then he lets go of your arm. With that, he lets go of your arm, and with what you swear is a wink. Wink, wink. You take a moment to gather yourself, and by the time you do, a whirling fills the air, Karstein having returned to his workbench. You turn and glide out of Karstein's supply with a growing mix of anxiety and excitement. In the pit of your stomach, and cacophony of Factory Row in your ears. A contract. Seraphon might be impressed. Seraphon might even be impressed. You look at the drive in your palm and you smile. This could be a route out. You think of leaving this place behind, in possession of an improved ship too. Suddenly, a small but firm hand falls on your back. An equally small voice coming with it. Hey, hey, wait up. You turn in the passage to see a young woman, her hair waving from the rapid glide she clearly just came out of to catch you. She steadies herself, using your shoulder. Sorry. She smiles a quick and flat smile. Wanted to catch you. I'm Junie. Her dark eyes flick around nervously. You notice the portable terminal she carries, something data scrapers call a deck, and her backpack full of components and trailing wires. What's up? Kirsty, she starts, still catching her breath. He sent me to grab you. She smiles, that flat smile again. Wants me to come with you on that job. Her eyes shoot down to the drive in the palm of your hand. She smiles again. Why didn't he tell me? She glances back towards Kirsty. I guess he forgot? He does that sometimes. She looks sheepishly at you. He just grabbed me after you two were done talking. Kirsty's always sending me on things like this, so I guess he wants me to help you out, keep an eye on things. She pauses. I could be pretty helpful. So she looks around the passage. Should I meet you at your ship and you can tell me when you're ready to go? Fine. Sounds good. Okay, great. Her eyes light up. She notices she still has her hand on your shoulder and takes it off. Jimmy pushes off and waves. Looking forward to working with you, she calls back as an afterthought. What about the ship? Let her go. Watch her disappear down the passage. Things are getting complicated already, but at least you have a contract and a way to get the feed lines. Jimmy clearly works with data based on the gear she was lugging around, which might make her useful when it comes to pulling out a data core. But the question is, what does she get out of it, and why didn't Kirsten mention her sooner? You consider your options as you head back towards the rig. I don't know about this, Sleeper. Seraphin looks nervously out at the rig's window as you finish explaining the deal, as well as Junie's offer to help. If the job was easy, Kirsten would have done it himself already. That means there's a catch. He frowns at the stars. And there's definitely something going on with this Junie girl. He shakes his head. What choice do we have? What if? Seraphin narrows his eyes. We could get the cryo together to buy the feed lines. Is that even possible? I found a contract for it at the exchange further in station. He gestures towards Hexport. We take on a job. That might get us some of the way towards buying those feed lines. Plus, even if we want to take Karistine's job, a bit of money to get ourselves prepared wouldn't be a bad idea. Fill up on fuel supplies, be ready for whatever comes. Do we have time? Probably not. But without cryo for fuel and supplies, we aren't going anywhere. Seraphin sighs. Just look at the contract board, see what you think. While you're at it, you might want to see if you can scare up some freelance crew too. Seraphin shrugs. Many hands make light work, and all that. Or we stop messing around. We take the job right now and get it done before he can think twice. Seems like a whole set of bad options to me. Either way, still got work to do on the drive. Seraphin nods farewell and heads back to the engine room. Let me know what you decide. For a moment, you pause, letting the haze of plans and ideas settle in your mind. Suddenly, you curl up, pain shooting along your spine. Ouch! You grit your teeth, your muscles lock tight. Your vision narrows as you squeeze your eyes shut. Feel a shift, as if some connection has broke. It's almost impossible to describe. Like you're floating away from your body, disappearing, dissolving, in. There's nothing familiar in the pain, nothing to hold on to. You grit your teeth, and then another shift comes, and you're back in your body, trembling against the metal wall of the passage. The pain slowly fades, becoming a pulsing throb, and then a residual flicker. Flex in 0G, stretching out the tension. There's a strange sensation of distance that persists beyond the pain. A disconnection between your body and yourself. A flickering numbness that refuses to recede. You wonder if the reboot has done something to your body, or Is this some new sensation you will have to live with indefinitely? It strikes you that you know so little about the body that houses you. It could be moments away from collapse, or it might preserve for countless cycles like this. You try to shake off the feeling, pushing your hands against each other until you feel they are yours again. Time is the only thing you need. Right now, it feels like it's running out fast. You head for the airlock. You have work to do. Open the map to view it. Let's get back into this. How do I open the map? Map is Y. Gather enough fuel to travel with the contract. Okay. Ooh, input. Um, Jordan, happy Thursday. All right, we did something. Neutral outcome. Nice. Okay. End cycle. Oh, why is that locked? Hopefully I have enough fuel to get there and back. It's a drone. Airfront spots the signal source first, the light barely shimmering off the dark hull plating. Design trait that betrays its covert use. The flash catches your attention, and you see a rent in the hull, though with its red light pulse wounded. Airfront shakes his head. Wish they finished the job. Seen this one before? Seraphin looks back over his shoulders towards you. You've seen one before, don't you? He sighs. Sorry, I know it's not your fault. He looks at the drone. Lane had us work on one in Darkside Bay, though it was barely a shell, disarmed and deactivated. He had us searching through its guts for salvage. Even that one gave me the creeps, and it had its core ripped out. He pushes the ship closer. This one is still alive. Griffin carefully guides the ship closer. You watch the drone. The system is full of these things now, running missions for their operators. Rare to see one on the belt, though. Maybe got hit during a run-in with Planet Stat Mercs? It looks like it's drifting. Most of the system's blown out, but look, there. He jabs his finger towards the red light on the far side of the drone. It's broadcasting, and maybe even receiving. How do we shut it off? What I remember from the Darkside job is that the central core and the broadcast array need to be shut off to kill these things. The core will turn off local systems, and the broadcast array will sever the link with the conway operations. But you can bet those systems are protected. Can we blow it up? See torpedoes on this rig, Sleeper? Terrafin laughs. We've got to shut it down by hand. Your attention is suddenly drawn by a shudder from the drone, like a tremor running along its length. This thing is rigged to blow, Sleeper. He frowns. We go slow and careful, and we don't touch anything we don't know about. You nod. Slow and careful. Irfan brings the rig to a stop, close enough for you to cross the open space to reach the drone's hull. Let's suit up. You head down the airlock to prepare. As you get suited up, you think of the corporate war taking place in the inner system. The war that this drone was driven from. Out here, on the shore of the conflict, the biggest danger is that Float Sam and Jet Sam drifting in with the tides, and orbits of the system like one cycle bring the war with it. Dun dun dun. For now, the belt is outside of its reach, but looking out at the red pulsing drone, that doesn't give you much comfort. Welcome to your first contract. get into this drone. Identify route. As the hull plating comes away, a red lit tangle of twisted cables and piping is revealed. Ooh. During a contract, you can use your push ability once per cycle to give you an edge. You just gain some stress. As your stress increases, you'll have a higher chance of taking damage. Oof. And cycle. No goal. Drone stress. Starving. Oof. Each regain energy. I didn't buy any supplies. That's on me. You hear bleeping immediately. Among the chambers and cabling of the drone's interior, something has started counting down. Shit. Everyone's voice comes hissing through the suit's comm channel. This is what I was worried about. Are we screwed? I can't be sure. Seraphin has dropped his voice to a whisper, as if it might make a difference. Either this, or it's about to send out a distress call, or it's about to blow. We've got to shut the system down fast, he pauses. Then we move into the other side, because I bet you there's a surprise waiting for us there too. We take a moment in the silence. Alright, time to deal with this fast, and then get over to the other side before something happens. I don't have anything but ones. Okay. That was a good outcome. We're gonna starve to death out here. Come on, hack. Oof. And cycle. Array disabled. Come on. Nice. The thrumming, pulsing interior of the drone goes still for the first time since you boarded it. You look across at Seraphin and share a smile. You exhale, so loudly it can be heard over the soup's shared comm channel. The drone is dead. Seraphin slaps the metal inside of the drone. Too easy, you ugly bastard. You make your way back to the hull. The drone faintly rolling into one direction as its stabilizers are offline. You and Sephirin glide across the hull towards the rig. Feels good to shut down corporate property, he smiles. They deserve everything they've got coming trying to take Helion back. You reach the rig's airlock and take one last look at the drone's dark hole. It catches the light as it rolls in the vacuum. At some point in the near future, this drone will likely be smashed into pieces by one of the many asteroids of the belt, spread across this place as twinkling dust. The thought pleases you, as does the thought of all that Cairo Hexport now owes you. Time to collect. After docking, Seraphin lets go of the controls and leans back in his chair. Feels good to make a contract work. He smiles, no matter how we pull it off. It's hard not to agree. And it feels better when the Hexport's courier comes with a lockbox full of chits. Lane may still be hunting you, but this should help the effort slip his net. Okay, we've got an upgrade point. What can I spend it on? I guess nothing. I need 2s. Okay, got it. We're gonna buy fuel. Supplies. Fuel supplies. Nothing there. On board with the raid. Welcome in, Raiders. We are checking out Citizen Sleeper 2. How was your stream? Rest and recover. Minus stress. Recovery failed. Oof. Let's just end the cycle. One of your dice is broken due to losing all its dice health. Broken dice can be repaired at the rig for a cost once the workshop is available. Negative outcome. Try one more. Back to our rig and the cycle. Where can I get that? Up there. As you are gliding across the docking concourse, you hear a scuffle. The noise of a raised voice cuts through the conversation, drifting out of the dockside shops. Glancing down an alley, you see a huddle of figures shouting back and forth. You spot a man in the middle of the group, surrounded, pushing the others back as they grab the bags slung over his shoulder. You don't like the way this looks, but then again, Seraphin told you to keep your head down. We're gonna wait it out. You sit back from the alley entrance a little, pressing yourself against the wall. This is not your fight. You look around and see if anyone might be coming. Most of the spacers are near the docks. You hear a shout and a series of impacts. You turn back to the alley to see figures gliding straight down towards you. Pull back as they shoot out and disperse into the crowds, bag in one of their hands. Moments later, an imposing figure follows them out, stopping at the threshold to try to spot where the assailants went. He turns to you, suddenly spotting you lurking by the wall. You see those scumbags? The man shakes his head. They headed into the docks. He squints at you a little, perhaps noticing you're a sleeper. New here? Kind of. The man raises his eyebrow. Feeling cagey. You don't need to explain to me. Man pauses. I've got to ask. You didn't have anything to do with the guys back there, do you? Nope. All right. He shrugs. Had to ask. The man pats his chest. I'm Femi. He unshoulders one of the bags and pushes it towards you. Here, make yourself useful. Let's head. You get the strap of the bag over your shoulder and follow him through the docks, gliding past the concourse towards the connecting bridges. He cuts down a side passage, looking back to check you are following. Then he stops at the docking bridge, connecting to a dull green ship with the yellow markings. You look out the viewing window, and its odd catamaran-like shape, seemingly built from two separate hulls, welded together. Timeball Crash, he says. And you assume that's the ship's name. Femi. You bringing in strays? The young woman, brightly dressed and stretching as she drifts into the passage. She glances at you. No offense. Well, Nina, if you'd come to help, I wouldn't need to find a porter. He glances at you. No offense. Nina sighs. What do you want about? He glances at you. I'm sorry for my brother. He shoots him a glance. For whatever he did. Nina, enough now. He reaches over and takes the bag you were carrying. Nina rolls her eyes, but stays silent. Factory Row wouldn't take these. Femi hefts the bags. I'm gonna load them back up. Maybe we'll find a use for them. Sleeper. He shoots you a look. Take my advice. Stop hanging around the docks like a stray. He slaps the bottom of the bridge door and kicks off along the docking. Okay, that's why they kick off. Duh, they're in space, so that's what they mean by kick off. On his way to the Kimball crash, Nina eyes you nervously. Did my brother promise you payment? I'm sorry, we don't have much to give. Nothing like that. Okay, she glances around awkwardly. Sit, Boo-Boo, sit. Good dog. Did Nina pauses. Something happen? Your brother was attacked. Really? Nina shakes her head. My brother does have a bit of a habit of getting into trouble. It wasn't his fault. He raises an eyebrow. Are you sure about that? Boss fight. Things have been a little difficult. She sighs. Sleeper, can I ask you something? Sure. He takes a deep breath, then gives you a direct look. What is she building up to? Are you looking for a crew? Yes. Sorry to be direct, but you seem like, well, if you're on Hexport, maybe you're with a crew. She stops herself. I mean, maybe your crew needs a crew. I am. She struggles to hide her smile. Nina looks back at the ship. Then at you. Look, I'll be honest. Being on a crew with my brother is nice, but he is suffocating me. She frowns at her own bluntness. I'm not a kid anymore, you know? But still sees me like one. She shrugs. I want to show him I can handle myself. I need experience. I need to run some contracts. She gives you a determined look. What do you say? Didn't I ask your brother? I'll think about it. I'm a good salvager, all right? You can use me. She smiles. I can spot things, find gaps, ways in. She folds her arms across her chest. I know what I'm doing. Femi taught me well. She glances back at the ship. Just consider it, all right? Let me prove myself. Suddenly, a shout comes out from the ship, echoing down the passage. Femi. It makes both of you nervous. Nina looks at his direction. I should go. He pushes off towards the docking bridge. I'll be waiting. Nina gives you one last glance as she departs, then disappears into the docking bridge, leaving you alone in the passage. A Pumpkin King.
SMS received.
No contracts. Negative outcome.
SMS received.
You beat the boss. Risky. Ooh, minus energy. Let's get some supplies. This thing's already dead. He shakes his head. It's a corpse, sleeper. He nudges. Stay silent. No advice? Seeing Twist remains the derelict are hard to parse at first. Lands down. Shit. Who's up to? More stress. Okay. End cycle. Oof. Not getting in. Um. Can't sleep. I only have these one die. Alright, as long as they work. Oh, stress. Or nothing. Wow. People are leaving. Right, this has to do it. Come on. Oh. We did it. Come on, I need to get lucky. Have bad dice. Goal reversed. The heck? All right, we got that done. Oh. This isn't working. I think we're gonna fail this contract. Too stressed. Did pass this one though. Nice. There is a horrifying lurch. You are sent spinning across the bay as you are crossing a hole of debris. You watch the side of the bay, yapping oof. You stare into it, your breath heavy in your ears. Tug on your back, your tether. As you spin back from the sudden arrest of your glide, you see Seraphin holding on to the other end, reeling you towards him. We have to go, Sleeper. I knew we were going to fail. You lied. So she was not supposed to go with us. Contract is a contract. No way. No, this stops here. We're done. Leave. Almost dinner time. That's the only reason I'm rushing. Oops. Drive failed. Uh-oh, Lane caught us. And game over. Who are you? I can't believe it. let's look for a contract. Is Jordan eating?
No.
It looks like it. That's a big difference. I have to use the restroom really quick. Be right back. Right. Getting wrecked. Meow. You just completed a drive at an upgrade point. I need to get my ship repaired. I think 5 cycles will repair it. Okay. Thank you. Ice repair. Nice. Roam the docks. I need to buy supplies. Oh, I have no energy. Repair the leaks. Can't do anything. I need to eat. Hello, Casey. Let's end the cycle. jerk suddenly awake. Because that's what all companies do. I am the machine. I don't have any components. Yeah, they did it just to mess with you. Alright, well, it is dinner time. Yeah, I don't use Nike socks anymore. This has been Citizen Sleeper 2. It is available now on the Xbox Store for the price of $24.99. I'm gonna have dinner, switch to idle for the rest of the evening. I'll be back tomorrow after work, maybe with Drug Dealer Simulator. Not sure yet. Not rage quit, it's dinner time. Wife just rang the dinner bell. Have a great rest of your Thursday. Stay safe. Happy gaming.
Wake up, sleeper. We're in trouble. Lane's closing in, and we need this next contract to go right. But nothing's gone right so far. That contract Carson gave us was trouble from the start. Junie? I didn't trust her. Not for a moment. That derelict was a death trap. Suddenly, it was all over. But we've got to bounce back. We've secured the contract. So let's talk, crew. How about Nia? She was handy with that drone. Stopped the whole thing blowing up in our faces. Or Eugene. He's a loudmouth, but he's tough as hell. Although he did forget to tell us about Vesna. Or we find someone new, but new crew have new problems. The belt is wide, sleeper. So whatever comes at us next, just remember, nothing in the belt ever runs smooth.